Hey man, my name is Pharoahe Monch, 13, Stress October. Yep, that's me. I mean, I was fortunate in that in the beginning, as a kid, it was a phenomena in terms of the culture, in terms of it being implemented into graffiti, breakdancing, park jams, fashion. It felt like the voice of the people. And so it was inspirational on a multitude of levels. So I was like, I gotta be a part of this as an artist. I was always drawing. I was in art school at the time when it really blasted off, in my opinion. Of course I was privy to Cold Crush Brothers, Treacherous 3, King Tim III, just taking it back to the essence. And but then I really was blown away by Rocksteady and New York City Breakers, Fable, and dancers and graffiti, because I was an artist. Like, I had a black book and the whole shit. So I was like, how can I implement into this voice, whether it's art or whatever it is. In the beginning, I wasn't even thinking about emceeing. I just wanted to have a voice as well in art form. So culturally, I was blessed to experience it before it exploded into this multi-billion-dollar thing that it is today. When I got together with Prince Poe, organized Confusion, we knew that we had to implement a style and something different in order to have a lane, so to speak. Because the thing back then with writers and dancing is you didn't want to bite somebody's move, or you didn't want to bite somebody's style or whatever. And as soon as you just drawing characters or whatever, as soon as you would bite somebody's sneaker style or whatever, it'd be like, yo, that's the same thing that's happening. So when we integrated, I was transcending from the art into, like, I think my voice would be better heard as an MC. Biting was taboo back then, unlike today where, you get a sound or a mixture of different things or a trend. No doubt that we were influenced, we had influences, but we try to implement our own thing when we decided to go professional and do it on our own. Because I was nice on the art tip, me going to my pops, blessed again to have my parents, me going to my pops and my moms and being like, yo, man, this art shit is bullshit. I think I want to be an MC and I think I want to try my hand. And me looking them in the eyes and saying that honestly, and them looking back at me and saying, all right, you got 365 days. 365 days to devote to this, and then that's it. And then we set out on a mission. I take it back to those roots, man. One of the things that was very inspirational was understanding art as an expression. So I'm constantly looking at dance, books, movies. I just seen the Wolverine. I just watched Oblivion on some sci-fi, comic books, conversation. I'm constantly in my head trying to pull inspiration from something. Not even for a song, at least for a line. So that in itself is still as fun as it was when I started. I would have to say number one would be the chronic asthma. It became an issue in the beginning. And then such an issue that I was kind of forced into combating it. I was backed up against the wall, so I had to start fighting that shit back, man. Like eating right and exercising and staying away from different things. So you know, it wasn't even. I don't even look at it as a fight anymore. It's like lifestyle. I remember as a kid reading comic books and just reading. I was like, man, I want a Porsche and I want to drive that Porsche on the Autobahn in Germany, but how the fuck am I going to get to Germany from Southside Queens? And, the art, the music, hip hop took me to almost every continent. I think I'm only missing Antarctica right now, and I don't really fucking care about Antarctica, so, And I've driven on the Autobahn, not in a Porsche, but I've driven on the Autobahn. And those simple things like that, man, is accomplishments to me. As well as now, the biggest accomplishment is leaving the machine and having my own label, War Media. I did a festival in Copenhagen. It was myself, MF Doom, De La, and Wu-Tang. And at festival, you don't really do sound checks. It's just really a line check. Those people are so good, you just really need to do a line check anyway. So, they were like, yo, Pharoahe, you're on at 15, do a line check. And they have 3 different stages. So I went to do my line check, and there was like 200, 250 people in front of the stage. I was kind of hiding behind the DJ riser, checking my mic. And then I went back, I checked it, everything was dope, it was banging. And then I went back, waited 10 minutes, my DJ went on, played the intro. I walked on stage, it's like 10,000 people. I kind of froze for a second, like, what the fuck? I hadn't done a festival in a long time, so it was really dope, man, last festival we did. So those experiences, although they may be, run of the mill for the hip hop audience, still amazing to me. So that's the last brilliant, great, fun story that I have. I'm really a fun dude at heart. I know for a fact that people think I'm aloof and weird because I don't like to fuck with people that I don't know. But once you get to know me, it's all good. But for the most part, I'm like movie buff. I watch movies. I work out religiously. And I go and I do some more homework. And homework for me is not just writing to beats. It's read, listening, watching, seeing what's going on in the world and trying to absorb, organic things to write about, because I feel it's like bullshit if it's not the truth. And my truth is many different truths from, like I said, from the political side to Pornhub, to fucking whatever it is that I do in the course of a 24-hour period. We're just dedicated to being renegades, rebels, bringing content, artistic content, from the sublime to the ridiculous, from the lyrical to the complicated to the simple, but something that's gonna be worthy of merit and something that's going to grab your attention. So a lot of what the new album, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, deals with is the depression of that time period. Deep, deep depression, not just from music shit, but from medical shit, in and out of hospitals and shit like that. So I took a lot from the dire need, survival from that period, as well as the struggles of being an independent artist. That's a lot of what I'm pulling from on the new record. So it's really real, in the sense that it talks about financial as well as medical and health, physical as well as mental. I definitely want people to know that I was dedicated to the art form, to the culture of hip hop, and to just trying to represent, lyricism in the sense that it's so vast. I see people give definitions to it, but it's very vast. It's almost infinite in the sense that concept and content and flow, and it's just so many things you can implement and take away from and put into. I think that hip hop is just still at the beginning stages, like KRS-One once said. We have a lot more to explore. So, on some astronaut shit, I just want to, let people know. I hope I get recognized for exploring and trying to push the envelope. Post-traumatic stress disorder is my best album to date.